What is up, world? It's me again. I'm ready to inspire. I'm ready to roll right through this. I donated blood today. I'm feeling alive and on top of the world. And if you aren't, I think this video will help you out. The topic for today is to see things differently. And the quote I want to start with is from a song called Heaven or Hell. And in the beginning of the song, Meek goes, "Don't let your demons take you to hell. Introduce them to heaven." Introduce being the key word there. So that's the topic for today is paradigm shift. How your current circumstance is not going to change, but you can change the way you look at it. Now, I don't want to do a bunch of preaching today, so what I did was I executed an exercise on a typical school day, and I wrote hour by hour what the nature of my mind is. You ready? Cool. So between 8 and 9 a.m., my mind is running as if I'm being chased. I consider myself a morning person too, so I find this very odd, but it is what it is. I do wake up with a shortness of breath, unwillingness to continue on with my school day. But moving on. So between 9 a.m. and 10 a.m., I don't want to be here. That's what I wrote, and that's obviously for my chem lecture. 10 and 11, finally waking up, more present. So 2.5 hours after I open my eyes, I finally come down to earth. I don't know how I feel about that, but I'm not going to judge it. Moving on. Between 11 and 12, I'm really full. I want to sleep. So I knock out my lunch. I'm not groggy. I'm not cranky, but a food coma is really real. Unfortunately, I don't have the luxury of taking a nap at that time, so I just move on with my day. Now, something worthy to note was between 12 to 8. And 12 to 8, I experienced peace. My utmost peace throughout that 8-hour stretch. I find this very surprising until I questioned it. Like, why am I at such peace at this time? And it makes sense because I get my workout in, I have my favorite class, and I work on non-school related business. So I'm executing 3 of my passions within that 8-hour span, which adds up. It makes total sense. Shit really hits the fan between 8 and 9 o'clock. That is when I start my homework and I don't want to do it. So that's exactly what I wrote. Don't want to do homework, anxiety begins. Between 9 and 10, anxiety increases, procrastination increases. Between 10 and 11, I wrote FML, I want to sleep. 11 to 12, anxious until I sleep. I usually try to sleep by 12, 12:30, but why did I do this and why am I sharing it with you? Don't you think it's an unfair advantage if you know what your mind is going to do tomorrow between 11 and 12? See, your mind works in cycles. So there are small armies in past history, armies with a better game plan that defeat bigger armies. This is the small army directing the much bigger body. I'm encouraging us to be the bigger army, but let's have a better game plan. If you're more in control of what's coming, then you're going to feel empowered to knock it out peacefully. Why is it going to be peaceful? Because you're living a life of non-resistance. You know that you have to do homework between 8 and 9. You know the anxiety cycle is coming. Once it comes, you'll be able to breathe better. This simple exercise is what I'm inviting you to do. Witness your thought. Your soul is different than this pattern. And this pattern is not going to leave. As a matter of fact, it gets more stressful from what parents have told me, elderly people, more money, more problems, whatever it is, whether it's misconceptions or actual truth that comes along. The older we get, the more stress we endure. So what I'm encouraging you to do is to hustle. Do what you gotta do. Knock out your business, but know how to get out of it when you're done. Because that is being alive. I think the point where you want to reach once you do this exercise or once you're just witnessing your mind throughout the day is once you laugh at yourself. Like when I wrote over here FML, I want to sleep, I think that's freaking hilarious. I laugh at myself because whenever I think about my stress or my struggle and I place it in this little scope, I understand that Janji is much bigger entity than this. Yes, school will help me get to where I want to be. But it's very important when my business with school is done, I take a step back, whether that's reading a book, whether that's stretching, whether that's Netflix, whatever it is, that's what you know. I'm not saying find your happiness. I'm saying find what is peaceful to you after you knock out your business. I'm going to leave you with that. This upcoming week, witness your thought. Write it down if you have to, and watch your results. Direct every angle. See you next time.